Do you remember stepping out in flared pants and platform shoes, feeling like you owned the world? Or the swish of a fringe jacket as you walked into a party, thinking, yeah, this is cool. The 1970s was a time when fashion broke all the rules, loud, bold, and wonderfully weird. It was a decade of self-expression, where colors clashed, colors soared, and disco ruled the night. Sure, we laugh at some of it now, but deep down, we kind of miss it. Today, we're looking back at 10 outrageous fashions from the 70s we secretly loved. Bell-bottoms, the flair that wouldn't quit. You couldn't walk down the street in the 70s without hearing the swish-swish of bell-bottoms. Tight at the thighs and flared out past the knee, they were groovy, dramatic, and oh so fun to dance in. Sailors wore them first, but the 70s made them a fashion statement for everyone, from hippies to disco kings. Paired with a silky shirt or just a plain tee, bell-bottoms added flair to every step. They faded out in the 80s, but let's be honest, nothing twirls like a good bell-bottom. Leisure suits, business meets boogie. Imagine a man in a matching jacket and pants made of polyester, probably pastel, with wide lapels and no tie. That's the leisure suit. Casual enough for the weekend, classy enough for the club. It said, I'm here to party, but I might sign a contract after. They were easy to clean, cheap to buy, and made everyone feel like John Travolta. Eventually, fashion moved on, but we still smile when we see those old photos. Fringe jackets, the Western cool. Fringe jackets weren't just clothes, they were a mood. Borrowed from Western styles and Native American influence, fringe swung with every step you took. Worn at concerts, protests, or just out for a drive, they made you feel a little rebellious. Suede, leather, even denim, fringe found a way to be everywhere. It disappeared with time, but if you wore one, you never forgot how cool it felt. Platform shoes, walking on sunshine. Some of these shoes were so high, it's a wonder we didn't all twist our ankles. Platform shoes weren't just fashion, they were statements. Men and women wore them to the disco, to the mall, even just to feel taller. With glitter, neon, or wild patterns, platforms made you feel like a rock star. Today's sneakers are comfy, but they don't sparkle like those did. Wrap dresses, the secret weapon. Invented by Diane von Furstenberg in the mid-70s, the wrap dress was every woman's best friend. It hugged the waist, flowed at the hips, and worked for the office or the dance floor. Made of soft jersey fabric and often in bold prints, it was both feminine and fierce. It gave women confidence and comfort, all in one knot and twist. The wrap dress never really left, but the 70s gave it soul. Tie-dye everything, peace, love, and cotton. Tie-dye wasn't new, but in the 70s, it exploded. Homemade shirts, headbands, socks, you name it, we dyed it. It was more than color. It was a symbol of peace, individuality, and the counterculture spirit. Whether you were at Woodstock or just hanging in the backyard, tie-dye said, I'm free. It may have looked messy, but it felt like freedom. Crop tops, bare and bold. In the heat of the summer, the crop top made its way into the spotlight. Men wore mesh football shirts, women rocked tied-up tees, showing off skin like never before. It was playful, daring, and totally new for the time. Cropped shirts paired perfectly with high-waisted pants and a bold attitude. Fashion got modest again later, but for a while, bellies were in. Polyester everything, the miracle fabric. Polyester was the king of the 70s closet. Shiny, stretchy, and practically indestructible, it ruled the dance floor. From shirts to pants to full matching suits, polyester didn't wrinkle and never quit. Sure, it didn't breathe, but it came in every color under the sun. When you wore polyester, you felt like you were ready for anything, even a dance-off. Wide collars, the bigger, the better. You couldn't miss them. Collars so wide they almost touched the shoulders. They popped over jackets, they flared over dresses, sharp, bold, and unapologetic. Inspired by disco and a little 1940s flair, wide collars added flair to every outfit. They were dramatic, and we loved every inch. Eventually, they folded back into fashion's history, but their legacy lives on in every retro costume. Tracksuits. Casual meets cool. Whether velour or shiny nylon, tracksuits weren't just for working out. They were for lounging, shopping, dancing, even showing off. Brands like Adidas or Puma turned athletic wear into fashion statements. With stripes down the side and zip-up jackets, you felt like you were always on the move, even standing still. They've made a comeback, but the 70s wore them best. The 1970s dared us to be bold, to try something new, and to have a little fun with fashion. Maybe we don't wear these things anymore, but the memories, the confidence, and the joy, those never go out of style. Did you rock any of these looks? Or did your parents? Tell us in the comments. We'd love to hear your story. And if this trip down memory lane made you smile, give us a like, subscribe, and keep the good old days alive. Until next time, stay groovy.